Breakfast is served. Morning peeps, how you all doing? Hope you're well. Oh, the sun's just come out. Thanks, sun. First job of my day is to take this beautiful wild garlic butter that I made a few days ago. I don't want that to go to waste. Now, because wild garlic has got a high water content, I'm guessing that will go mouldy at some point if I just leave it in the fridge. And I can't bear wasting it because it's so delicious. But we're just not using it as quickly as I imagined that we would. So first job of the day is I'm gonna take it out of this jar. I'm gonna wrap it up into like a sausage shape in baking paper, and then I can just whack that in the freezer. And then when we want some, like to go on a steak or something, you just slice off little discs of it and it will just be delicious. And I might even try and head out and get some more of that over the next few days to make some more wild garlic butter. It's like a massacre in here this morning. There's dead mice, not real ones, toy ones obviously, and toys everywhere. Someone's feeling very kittenish. You know, when we first got Sassy all those years ago, she didn't know how to play. Isn't that so sad? I spent hours with her, and I taught her how to beg for treats like a dog. So she'd tap me with one paw, and then she'd tap me with the other paw, and then she'd sit down. It was so sweet. We don't do that anymore, unfortunately, before you all ask me to do a demo. But yeah, we had to teach the poor little thing how to play. And now she's good at playing. Definitely good at playing. Right, garlic butter time. As I'm squeezing the butter, you can see the moisture coming out from the wild garlic, so I'm just going to pat some of that out. There we are, and it appears I'm unable to spell today. Excellent. Right, that's going in the freezer. Oh, good morning, ladies. What are you trying to tell me? Good morning, Tinker. Would you like some food? You're a hungry girl, huh? You're a little bit too scared for all this, aren't you? Good girl. I'll stop teasing you now, ladies. Hi, welcome to the bottom of my grubby fridge. We're doing it, we're trying it. So 3 people voted WD40, and out of all the ideas that people had for cleaning this grotty stainless steel fridge, one was baby oil, and I don't have any of that, so I would go and buy some if I needed to, if it was the only thing, but I thought I'd try the WD40 trick first. I do have a very clean, small, dainty, girly can of the stuff, which of course I can't find. So I went rummaging in Johnny's workshop, and I have to work with this. This seems very wrong to be cleaning a fridge with something that looks like that and that smells like that, because let's be honest, WD-40 is a rank smell. But I don't care. If it works, I don't care. So, word on the street is you get some kitchen roll and you spray a small amount of this stinky stuff. Do you have to shake first? I don't know. Oh, is there any? Oh, yeah. Okay, small amount. And then we're going for this streak here. I'm just going to do it on this little patch. I probably should do it on the edge, shouldn't I? Not right in the middle. Ah, sod it. So apparently you rub with the grain. Oh my God, this feels so wrong. I don't know, do I keep rubbing? Oh, okay. Wow, I think that is actually doing it. Huh. Gosh, this is going to make a really interesting video, isn't it? And tomorrow, don't forget to tune in, we'll be watching paint dry. Okay, so apparently you do that. Ugh, look at that. That's minging. So let's just do it with a clean dry bit and see what we've got. I don't know why I blew on it. Felt that right thing to do. So I'm kind of committed now. I am going to go for it. I'm going to do the whole thing and then I'll bring you back at the end and we'll sit and have a discussion about what we think about the whole WD40 trick. I know you're going to be on tenterhooks now, aren't you? Edge of the seat stuff this. Edge of the seat stuff. Da 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 da! Wow. So is it perfect? No, it's not. It's still streaky, but it's clean streaky, not grubby streaky. So I can live with clean streaky. Most definitely. So thank you, everybody. Mental note for the whole, whenever I go fridge freezer shopping again in the future, I might just buy a white one. That's really annoying having to do that. But I appreciate everyone's help in getting it looking so much better. Thank you. Right, pool picking o'clock. So a couple of you were asking about the Neff gear that I won and how I won it, what the competition was. I've got a feeling that I did a video about it after I'd won. I don't think I'm making that up. I'll link to it up there and down there if yeah, I did, because I was sat in Myrtle talking about it. It was very cool, very, very cool. I had, there were a couple of stages I had to go through and that got me into the final. And the final was at Jamie Oliver's, the big festival, that beautiful food and music festival, up country, kind of Oxford way, I think it is. So the cook-off involved me and this other girl on stage, cameras, audience, big like stage. It was like terrifying. And we had to cook a dish that was a pasta dish that was not Italian inspired, and it had to use one ingredient from one of the like traders at this big festival. So there was a company there making their own fresh pasta every day and selling this pasta with different sauces and stuff, like to festival goers. So I got them to give me some of their pappardelle, and I did an Asian duck pappardelle, I think it was. God, it was really very good. It was delicious. So yeah, big cook-off, big scary thing. The audience then had to vote. They had these coloured hands, white hand, red hand, whatever. They had to vote whose was the best dish or whatever, and I won. That was amazing. So yes, I won £10,000 worth of Neff gear, which is like ka-ching. But the bit that really was the golden kiss for me, if you like, was I got to write recipes and create recipe videos for Neff. Like, they're like a fancy brand, and there was little old me making making these videos for their social media channels. It was very, very cool. And I did that for a year and it was great fun. And it was all based here on the farm. All the recipes involved something I either grew here, foraged here, like the hen's eggs or whatever, or that came from a local farmer's market or something like that. It was really good. It was a really good campaign, lots of fun. And yeah, I enjoyed it. It was good. But yeah, so that lasted for a year. The contract lasted for a year, but of course I've got a lovely shiny kitchen, which is a lot shinier now, thanks to WD40. Oh, I feel like an advert for WD40. Love it. So there we go. One nice clean roost, one nice clean floor, and 7 eggs in the bag. Not literally, because that would be silly. Yeah, I am loving this whole having a shed to keep your chickens in. It's so much easier than that horrible old chicken run. It's so easy to keep clean. It's actually a pleasure to keep clean, which I know sounds kind of weird, but it really is. I really enjoy coming out here. Right, let's go take these in. So I'm just trying to work out what we're going to eat over the next few nights. So when I do this, I just quickly run through the fridge, find out what needs using up, like a couple of peppers that are looking very sad and sorry for themselves. There's a lettuce that's really out of date, but this is one of those Chinese leaf lettuces that lasts for weeks and weeks and weeks if it's in a sealed bag in your fridge. They're absolutely brilliant, but obviously I do still need to eat the thing. I've also been freezer diving, so we have the fridge freezer here in the kitchen, but we also have three 3 farm freezers, 2 big chest, well 2 of them are great big chest freezers, one of them's a smaller dinky little chest freezer. But we buy like a whole sheep and get it butchered, we buy half a cow, we grow a lot of fruit and veg, so we have big gluts, and all the excess just goes in the freezer. So we have to like keep quite stringent notes on what's going on up there. I do actually need to redo these notes because stuff's been taken out and not marked down, so we're in a little bit of a mess, but that's okay. We have lots of food, but we do need to make sure that it's not getting wasted. So tonight, to use these peppers up, I'm going to make fajitas, and I'm going to make, I think it's hogget, it might be mutton, but I'm pretty sure this is hogget. So up to at the age of 1, a lamb is called a lamb. From the age of 1 to 2, like a teenage lamb if you like, that's classed as hogget, and then older than 2 is classed as mutton. I'm pretty sure that we bought a hogget, so a sheep that was aged 1 till 2. This is a big bag of lamb chops. Neither Johnny or I love sitting down to eating a lamb chop with veggies and potatoes, whatever. It's certainly what I was brought up on, and it's just not something that floats my boat. But obviously this is still going to be delicious, and we still need to use it. So what I tend to do is wallop a load of lamb chops into the slow cooker, just cook them nice and slowly, because hogget and mutton are both tougher than lamb. Lamb is the tenderest of all 3. But in a slow cooker that doesn't matter, because it just melts down and it becomes really easily shreddable. It's a little bit of work, because I do then, once it's cooked, have to separate the fat and take the bones out and everything, but you're still left with this lovely bowl of tender shredded meat, and it's just so tasty. So I'm going to whack those in the slow cooker. It's midday now, they'll be done by 4 o'clock. I can let them cool down, shred the meat, and then that'll be ready to make fajitas for tea. I've got 2 wraps left in the freezer, which I'll defrost now. And when I buy a packet of wraps, we don't go through them very quickly. Johnny doesn't love eating wraps. Oh, there's actually 3 in there. So when I buy a packet, I have this never-ending piece of baking paper, and I just take all of the wraps out of the bag, lay each one in between the sheets of this, and then put them back in the bag, and that way they don't stick together when they freeze, and you can just pull out as many as you want. That's fajitas. I've also got 5 courgette, because I want to make some low-carb courgette bread. It's not bread, it's nothing like bread, but it's still really, really tasty. I've got celery my mum gave me for a recipe that I never used. So no doubt Johnny would like some of that coronation egg mayo again, and that uses celery. Oh, I've also got another block of feta. This has been in my fridge for weeks, and the use by date isn't until September. So feta cheese lasts for months in your fridge unsealed. Unsealed? Unopened. So this is a good one to stick in your shopping basket if you're a little bit flush one week, and you can just like bury it at the back of the fridge. Nobody needs to know about it, but you know that you've got a little source of tasty protein hiding in the back of the fridge if you have a leaner week. So that's it. Make a salad, get them in the slow cooker, then make fajitas, make courgette bread, put that back in the freezer, and jobs are good. Now at this point you can just put the slow cooker on like this, on high or low, it doesn't matter. You don't need to add any liquid to when you cook meat on its own like this, but I'm going to this time purely because, I'm not going to add very much, but purely because I want some of that lovely gravy. When I've shredded all the meat off, I then cool the juices down, and it turns into a nice thick jelly, and then I mix that jelly through the meat, and even if I eat it cold in a salad or something, it just means that it's really moist and really, really delicious. So I think I'm going to go and do another hour's weeding in Mum's garden, because I want to be outside. It's beautiful and sunny, but so windy again. So I'll just take you, and you can have a few clips of the bit that I'm weeding. It's not going to be very interesting, but it's helping Mum out, and it's giving me something to do, which is good. We all need little projects right now, I feel. So yeah, let's go and hang out in some sunshine. Windy sunshine, but sunshine all the same. See this poor little fella now, he's not going to last there very long, is he? Come on, mister. I've learnt this from my mother. Whenever I see a worm in distress, I always stop and pick it up and go and put it somewhere nice and wormy. I reckon that's a nice wormy spot down there, out of the sun. There you go, little worm, be happy. I've got my pickled onion juice on the go. It's really warm again today. It's lovely. Completely blue sky, not a cloud in sight. So I've just cleared a load of brambles from Mum's garden, covered in pickles? Prickles. I've got pickle juice on the brain. So that's good. Just did an hour, but it was good. Made a little dent in some of her garden, which is nice. She's given me 2 little baby buddleias in pots as well. So I think I'll go and dig a couple of holes in the chicken run and try and find somewhere to pop them. Well, that didn't last long enough. Here's my 2 little buddleias. So let's go and pop them somewhere in the chicken run. And hopefully they won't eat them. So just looking where these buddleias could go. They do get very big. Obviously you can prune them so they don't have to get very big. But the only clear space is in this kind of area, which isn't too bad. I'm going to have a look in that top corner. There might be room up there for them. All these little trees here, these are all hazelnuts, cobnuts that we've planted. I think we had about, we've planted about 20, 25 in this area and also across the fence in that little area too. They're one of my favourite nuts and I pick them wild from the hedges every year, but the ones that you buy, the trees that you actually plant, the nuts are much bigger and much more fruitful. You get a lot more nuts per tree. So let's go and have a wander up there and see how much room there is. So these are the little hazelnuts. They're looking fab. And luckily the chickens aren't eating the leaves. We were a bit concerned when they started budding because if the girls had eaten all the buds off, they would have killed them. So these sycamore here have been heeled in, which just means that they've been planted here as like a nursery bed. They will get moved at some point, they're not there to stay. Oh, I think this area here would be good. It's pretty scrappy and there's not much going on. And if they're all the way up here, we can let them get really big and bushy. And they're so good for wildlife. Bees and bugs absolutely love them. So they're going to bring a lot of food into the run for the chickens as well. Not the bees. You're not allowed to eat the bees, girls. Not only do we need them, they'll sting you. So our old compost bins, they've scratched all the compost out of this middle one, which is not a problem, I guess. It's theirs now. They can do what they want with it, really. There's some lovely looking compost in there. And that's the original one. I took most of the compost out of here, but there is still, I could still get more out if I needed it. Oh, she's drinking water out of my watering can. Chicken, what are you doing? What are you doing up there? Honestly, you girls are so funny. Aren't ya? You's a funny chicken. You? Are you Biter? Yes, you're Biter. You're a little naughty girl, aren't you, little Biter? Oh. Well, I clearly don't know my own strength. I need to go and find another spade. Oopsie. Okay, I've brought it back up just in case. Damn, this ground is hard. Oh bless. This one's going to be happy to get out of this pot, that's for sure. Oh, that's if I can get it out of this pot. Oh, there we go. Oh, what a sweetheart. Desperate for a new home. Watering cans often get snails stuck in the pipe, which is why the water was dribbling out. He's well and truly wedged in there. And I'll just poke these sticks in. They won't last very long, but hopefully they'll last until Johnny comes up here strimming next. And hopefully this will make him realise that this is a plant that's supposed to be there, so he doesn't strim it out. There, good job. So this will show you what a great gardener I am. When I was clearing the herb garden of weeds, I left this plant because it was looking so healthy and strong, and I assumed that it should be there. It turns out it's actually a campion. So I'm going to leave it because they're very pretty, and I've got nothing else to go in there right now. Mum has ordered a bunch more onions, so all of this area here will get filled up with onions. And we've got a load of strawberries come up though, because I think with the onions that I did the other day, we only filled that patch there. So I can dot more in around there, and like I say, fill that bed up. And then we've got all that, and we've got all that. So it's not like we're short on growing room. But obviously the less areas I have to water, the more energy efficient it'll be. Talking of watering, this is all looking very dry. Oh, it's a lizard. Put it down. Sassy. Get off. Shoo. Shoo, shoo, shoo. There was me thinking you were catching another rat. I was going to say, what a good girl. I just came back in the kitchen and got the most amazing aroma of cooking lamb. So it's now cooked. It's all falling apart. Oh my goodness, it looks so good. So I'm just going to let this cool down on this tray, and then I'm going to take off all the meat and shred it. Then I'll separate the fat from the stock in this pan, and then I shall make us fajitas. So we've just had our fajitas. Well, actually, Johnny's still eating his. That's how much lamb is left over after making 3 fajitas, which is really good, really tasty, really tender. That's the stock and the fat that I'm leaving in the fridge until the fat has solidified, and then I'll be able to just break off that big lump of fat. I'm personally not that keen on lamb fat. If that was pork fat, I would definitely be putting that into my jar of lard that I cook with, but not that keen on the taste of lamb fat personally, so I bin that, I don't save it. It's not mafang, but as soon as that is hardened and I take that off and put it in the bin, then I'll mix that stock, probably all of it, back through all that meat, so it'll just make a lovely moist jelly in there. It'll be really, really tasty. Whatever we choose to do with it. So that's it for today. Thank you for hanging out with me here on the farm. If you enjoyed this video, please wallop that thumbs up, and why not subscribe? Why not? It's free, it's fun. Great things happen if you subscribe to this channel, don't you know? So I'm out of here. Have a great night, stay safe, and I'll see you in the next one. Adios.